Ladies and gentlemen, Kate here. Welcome to the daily update. Hope you guys had a good day trading. Today, market is up 0.4% on the S&P, Nasdaq, and semiconductor are the only indices today printing red there. Emerging market is pretty much flat though, but we did see Nasdaq and semiconductor lagging while other indices are making slight up move today, along with the Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 0.5%. Same with the Russell 2000 and transport, right? Banks and energy up close to 1% there. Biotech's up about 0.2%. However, the leaders today are these guys right here. We got the healthcare up 1.4%, home builders 1.4%, utilities up 1.6%. And these guys seen some 10% corrections along with the S&P with the recent downturn we've seen in September. They're bouncing right back up. Retail's up about 0.4%. Bitcoin up 6%. Grayscale Bitcoin. Gold, silver miners are up. However, silver's up 3% today. Silver's getting some attention to the upside as of late this week. Dollar is flat. We got oil up 1.2%. Treasury bond down there. And then VIX is down a little bit. Let's see with S&P 500 ETF. Spider, 65-minute chart here. So it looks like we saw another gap up this morning. This is where it closed yesterday. And this is where it opened today. So we can see a slight gap up there. And that gap still remaining open at close, and you can see that first hour thrust to the upside, and it ran up to right into that pink box there. You might be wondering what that pink box is all about, and if you've been watching my videos last couple of weeks, you know exactly what that is. That's the gap from early September. And that I'll zoom out and you'll see it, and that's where it came right down to the cent right there, right? Precisely right that level. Remember, bulls are kind of running on empty, which we've been talking about how bulls are tired. They're extended. They're in an overbought level. So it's impressive to see another gap up today and then make a run all the way to the resistance level. And you can see on that second hour, we saw a little bit of downturn there. Third hour, fourth hour. And you can see on the fourth hour, bears trying to come in a little bit. However, why did we see a support in that vicinity? Because that's a support, that's a gap area, that's a down gap area, that's a resistance area, that's a support area. It is not a coincidence, man. It is not a mistake. It is not a random occurrence that you can see in the micro term, just looking at today's price action, how this level, both of these levels are protected completely, especially on the fourth hour. It came down, bulls got it back up. That's a fifth hour, and the 6 hour little fluctuations, but end of the day with the green candle there. So looking at things in the micro term, that might be some kind of a bull flagging pattern. We wouldn't know, but that favors the buyers going into tomorrow. But let's zoom out. And we'll see we're very close to the all-time high level. Remember we talked about this, how quickly sentiment will shift. You thought that this market is doomed for the year. You see how, just couple days, man, and then boom, we're back to the all-time high level. That's the gap that I'm talking about. This is a gap that hasn't been filled. This is a gap where things got hectic here when that gap wasn't fully, when that gap wasn't filled. On that day right here, September 8th, you can see that that's when that downturn came about, and ever since then, lower highs and lower lows, my short-term moving average declining, things got pretty hectic there. And then we saw that basing period, and we got right back over, right back at that level, right on that front door where the bears are residing. The last remaining bears are residing right here, and buyers want to shut that operation down, and that's what buyers doing. How quickly we got up here and opening all these up gaps. You can see right here, that's an up gap, second, third, and little tiny fourth up gaps, all these continuation gaps. and definitely that buying pressure has been continuing even today. So what buyers want to do, fill this gap entirety of it as quickly as possible. If we do see a downturn, micro-term support is right in this gap area that was open earlier this morning. These gaps are open. It has been deployed by the bulls. Should there be any kind of slide or shenanigan or down move, these gaps should provide some kind of a support there. That's why that micro-term support, it held on the 4th hour. So let's check out that oscillator and see. Remember, this is exactly what we talked about on the last night's update, that this market could keep going higher and then the oscillator keep moving sideways at the top of its band. When the sentiment is strong, again, this is what we talked about yesterday, bulls pushed it all the way to the top of its band. Watch the video on the last night's video to understand what that means. And when that happened, bulls been running on empty. When I say empty, I mean their stomach, but they got this momentum. So when you got that momentum going, you know, when you're playing sports, when you got that momentum going, you're going. So you can see we hit the overbought level because they pushed it away, because there's a momentum, they keep pushing, and that oscillator is moving sideways. Very, very bullish sentiment. So that gap needs to be filled as quickly as possible. If that gap doesn't get filled, I think we might see some short-term pullback. The worst case scenario, maybe 448.91. But bulls at some point is going to get up here. And I think the best case scenario is just kind of be another gap up and then fade. That way, you know, that gap has been tamed, and that, you know, that pressure, bears operation that started from here, that business has been closed. So I think because we're in an overbought level, because bulls are in this higher sentiment, the momentum has been what keeping them going in the last several days. So gap up and then a fade would be, I think, pretty, potential scenario for tomorrow. But if that gap doesn't get filled, though, there could be some kind of fluctuations to the downside in the short term. So that could be tomorrow and Friday. So we'll reassess the situation. I'll come back for you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening and good luck trading tomorrow.